Back in 2005 in Brussels, Belgium, something happened that would change everything for the European legal landscape. Unknown to the public, deep within the chambers of the European Union, a profound shift was taking place, one that would redefine the meaning of justice across the continent. In the early 2000s, a consortium of EU member states was grappling with issues of cross-border crime, particularly concerning human trafficking, drug smuggling, and terrorism. Law enforcement agencies were struggling with outdated extradition processes that often led to criminal safe havens. In response, the EU introduced the European Arrest Warrant, EAW, in 2004, aimed at simplifying the extradition of wanted individuals between member states. At first glance, this radical legal approach appeared to streamline justice, yet it harbored a darker undertone. Whistleblowers began to emerge, shedding light on an alarming reality. The EAW was being exploited, leading to wrongful arrests and human rights violations. Just as law enforcement aimed to streamline justice, the balance of power tipped precariously, threatening individual liberties in pursuit of efficiency. In 2010, the case of a British man named Andrew Simu became a shocking focal point. A charge of manslaughter sent him spiraling through the EAW machine, resulting in his arrest in Greece, despite scant evidence and glaring inconsistencies. His pleas echoed through the courts, but the EAW eclipsed the voice of reason. What outraged many was not just Simu's plight, but the realization that countless lives were being appended under the banner of a just system. As the conspiracy unraveled, another chilling revelation surfaced. Investigative journalists delving deeper found evidence that some governments were leveraging the EAW to settle political scores. Arrest warrants issued for political dissidents, activists, and journalists were documented, turning the EAW into a weapon rather than a shield for justice. In 2015, the case of a Turkish journalist fleeing persecution in their homeland resonated throughout European media, echoing the concerns of those who believed the EAW was being manipulated. The public reaction was catalyzed by these revelations, igniting protests across major cities in Europe. Activists and human rights organizations rallied, demanding judicial transparency and reform of the EAW system. Political leaders defended it stubbornly, claiming it was effective in combating serious crimes. Yet, as the tide of opposition grew, cracks began to appear in the public's faith in their own government's motives. By 2020, the controversy had reached its boiling point when a European Commission report came to light, illustrating the misuse of the EAW in countless cases, highlighting systemic issues across many member states. Activists had successfully lobbied for legislative oversight, aiming to restore civil liberties and halt government overreach. However, trust in cross-border justice efforts had been severely compromised. Amid stark scrutiny, the EU commenced an ongoing review of the EAW process. Policies began to shift, but as the dust settled, the question remained: could Europe truly safeguard justice while holding governments to account? As whistleblowers continued to speak out, the resonating message was clear: unchecked power could corrupt any system, and vigilance was needed to protect the very freedoms the EAW was designed to uphold. From initial optimism to a cautionary tale, the EAW saga exemplifies the potential pitfalls of legislation intended to promote safety and security. As Europe moves forward, the lessons learned from this conspiracy linger, prompting a collective resolution to tread carefully on the tenuous line between justice and tyranny.